But here's the secret to my success, and I want you to really hear this, because this is the thing that made all the difference in my life, the thing that separated where I ended up from where I started, the thing that took an Idaho farm boy raised in the kind of obscurity most people never even think about and turned him into someone standing on a stage like this one in front of people like you with an introduction like the one I just received tonight. Are you ready for it? Here it is. I stood up and I did it again. That's it. That's the whole secret. I stood up and I did it again. Simple, isn't it? Maybe even disappointing to hear it put that plainly. But let me tell you something. The simple things are almost always the most powerful things, and this one is no exception. I stood up and I did it again. And then I did it again after that, and again after that. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, I just kept standing back up and doing it again. I did it when I was scared. And believe me, there were plenty of times I was scared. There were times I walked into a room and my hands were shaking, and my voice wasn't steady, and I wasn't sure I had anything worth saying. But I did it anyway. I did it when I didn't want to. And I want you to hear that too, because there's this idea floating around out there that successful people always want to do what they do, that they leap out of bed every morning with a fire burning in their chest, and they can't wait to get started. And sometimes that's true. But sometimes, a lot of times, it isn't. Sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes everything in you is pulling in the opposite direction. And the difference between the people who make it and the people who don't isn't whether they want to do it every single day. It's whether they do it anyway, even on the days they don't want to. I did it when I was ill. I did it when my body was telling me to rest, and my mind was telling me to slow down, and everything around me seemed to be saying that today wasn't a good day for it. I did it anyway, and I did it when it didn't work well. Oh, there were plenty of those times too. Times when I put in the effort, and the effort didn't produce the result I was hoping for. Times when I tried and fell short. Times when the outcome was embarrassing, and I had to look at what I'd done and admit it wasn't what I wanted it to be. But I got back up and I did it again anyway. And I did it when they didn't appreciate it. When the audience wasn't responding the way I hoped, when the recognition wasn't coming, when the effort seemed to be going out into a void and coming back empty, I still kept doing it. And a lot of times I did it when I didn't know much about what I was doing. I was figuring it out as I went. I was learning in real time, making mistakes in real time, growing in real time. And I just did it anyway. And now, all these years later, here I am. I'm asked to walk on this stage with the greatest introduction I've ever received in my life, the greatest response and welcome I've ever experienced, the greatest opportunity I've ever had to stand in front of this many human beings and try to touch their lives with a mixture of words and heart and soul. And all of it, every bit of it, traces back to that simple thing. I stood up and I did it again. I got better, not all at once, not in some dramatic overnight transformation. Not because I woke up one morning with some magical new ability that I didn't have the night before. I got better day by day and week by week and month by month, slowly, consistently, stubbornly. I just kept getting better. And that is exactly what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to make that same commitment to yourself, to your future, to the people who are counting on you and the people you haven't even reached yet. I'm asking you to get better, every day a little better. Every week a little better, until you can develop what I call a long arm and a long reach, until you can develop influence that won't quit, that keeps extending itself further and further out into the world, until you can touch people next year that you couldn't touch this year, until you can reach people now that you couldn't reach before, until you can walk into a room and conduct a meeting now that you couldn't have conducted a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Until there is a depth of heart and soul mixed into everything you do that simply wasn't there before, that was missing before, that hadn't had enough time to grow and develop and become the powerful thing it has the potential to be. I'm asking all of you to get better in spite of the winters. And we all know what the winters are. We've all lived through them. We're all acquainted with them. The winters of life don't announce themselves ahead of time. They don't give you a chance to prepare or to brace yourself. They just arrive. The money downturn, when the finances aren't what you planned and the bills are real and the pressure is mounting. The social downturn, when the relationships are strained and the support you thought you had turns out to be thinner than you realized. The personal downturn, when something happens inside you or around you that shakes your confidence, challenges your identity, makes you question everything you thought you knew about yourself and where you were headed. Whatever form your winter takes, I'm asking you to get stronger in spite of it. Not to wish for the winter to be different. Not to sit around hoping that the difficult season will pass more quickly than it's passing. The key is not to wish for a better winter. The key is to wish for more strength, more wisdom, more courage. That's what you go after. That's what you develop. Because here's what I've learned. The winters are going to come regardless. They don't ask for your permission. They don't check your calendar to see if it's a good time. They just come. And the only real question is who you are when they get there, how strong you've made yourself, how much wisdom you've accumulated, how much courage you've built up. Get better, get wiser, get stronger. That's not just a philosophy. That's a survival strategy. That's the thing that's going to carry you through. Now, let me give you the second point, and I want you to hold on to this one too, because it's just as important as the first. Here it is. Learn to take advantage of the spring. Spring means opportunity. And I want to tell you something. We have a fresh spring going right now. Right now, in this moment, in this season, in this gathering. It's called a spring like no other. An opportunity like no other. A chance that is sitting right in front of you, right here, waiting for you to reach out and grab it with both hands. But here's the clue, the thing you absolutely must understand. Spring is not a guarantee of harvest in the fall. Just because spring arrives does not mean autumn will automatically bring you what you're hoping for. Just because the weather turns and the conditions look favorable and things seem like they might be getting better, none of that automatically produces a result for you. You have to do something with it. You have to take advantage of it. Underline those two words if you're writing this down. Take advantage. That's the assignment. That's what separates the people who reap a harvest from the people who watch one go by without getting any of it. Because here's what happens to a lot of people. The spring comes and they get excited about the spring. They feel good because the winter is over. They're relieved that the hard season is past, that there's warmth again, that things look brighter and more hopeful than they did. And they coast on that feeling. They let the good weather carry them for a while without putting anything into the ground. They enjoy the sunshine without doing the work that the sunshine makes possible. And then they wonder what happened when harvest time comes around and there's nothing to show for it. I'm telling you, don't let that happen. Don't be faked out by the spring. Don't mistake the arrival of opportunity for the result of opportunity. The spring is the setup. You are the follow-through. Read the books. Study the material. Go back through your notes from every seminar and training and conversation that gave you something useful. Get yourself ready to cash in on what this season is making available. And understand this, there's a real sense of urgency here. Spring doesn't last forever. It never does. The window doesn't stay open indefinitely. The moment doesn't preserve itself for you to come back to later when you feel more ready. The season moves, and if you're not moving with it, you're falling behind. Think about it this way. I grew up in farm country in Idaho. I know what it looks like when farmers are working in the spring. I know the energy and the focus and the sense of purpose that takes over when planting season arrives. What would happen if you walked up to a farmer in the middle of spring planting and asked him to go bowling? You know what he'd say. He'd look at you like you had lost your mind. He'd tell you that bowling is for the winter, for the time when the ground is frozen and you can't do anything with it anyway. In the spring, you plant. In the spring, you work. In the spring, you do what needs to be done in the window of time that's available to you, because you know, every farmer knows, that if you miss the planting window, there is no harvest to speak of. You can't go back and plant in July and expect the same results. The timing matters. The season matters. And that's what we've got here, a window of opportunity, a moment that is asking something of you. Don't waste it. Don't let it pass by while you're doing something that could just as easily be done in a slower season. Postpone a few things during this springtime. Set aside a few things. Get the job done. Seize the spring. Because here's another thing I want you to feel in your gut. How many springs have you got in a lifetime? Not very many. Life is brief at its longest. It goes by faster than you expect it to when you're young, and faster than you can believe when you're older. Don't waste your springs. Don't let them slip by one after another, hoping that the time will somehow pass better on its own, hoping that eventually something will happen without your deliberate participation in it. You've got a new organization going, seize the spring. You've got a new partnership forming, seize the spring. You've got a new situation in your life that's opening up into something you haven't tried before. Seize the spring. Take advantage of it. Give it the best of your two hands and your full attention. Don't let it pass without giving it everything you've got, because the seasons that we squander are the seasons we can never get back. Now let's move to the third point. First, learn how to handle the winter. Second, take advantage of the spring. And third, in the summer, learn to nourish and protect. Summer is a unique season. It's a season of growth, a season where the things you planted in the spring are developing, where the effort you put in earlier is starting to show itself in real and visible ways. And there's a particular responsibility that comes with that. You've got to nourish your values during the summer. You've got to take care of them, feed them, give them the attention they need to continue growing. Don't let your values go hungry. Don't let them go wanting for nourishment and care. Because values that aren't tended to have a way of quietly withering, and you don't always notice it happening until a lot of damage has already been done. But here's the other thing that summer demands of you, and it's just as important. You've got to defend yourself against the enemies. Because summer is not only a time of opportunity and growth, it's also a time of serious challenge. And what else is new? What else has it ever been? The last several thousand years of human history read like this: opportunity mixed with difficulty, growth mixed with resistance, progress mixed with the things that try to prevent it. That's the story. That's always been the story. And you've got a chance right now to grow like you never have before. But I'm telling you, there are going to be enemies, both from the outside and from the inside, that will try to prevent it if you let them. As soon as you plant a garden, the weeds show up. The bugs arrive. The things that want to take what you've worked to build come after it. And you've got to be ready for that. You've got to learn not only how to nourish what you're growing, but how to do battle with the things that are trying to take it from you. Whatever threatens you, I'm asking you to threaten it back. Whatever threatens your opportunity, your progress, your future, don't just stand there and let it come. Take care of your responsibility. Stand your ground. If somebody wants to destroy your chances for a good future through their negative talk, their negative thinking, their habit of putting everything down and finding a reason why nothing is going to work, I'm telling you, don't absorb it. Don't let it in. Walk away if you have to. Protect what you're building. Protect the garden of your future from the people and the voices and the circumstances that would like nothing better than to see it fail. Now, some of our enemies are on the outside. There are real external forces, real people, real circumstances that push against us and make things harder than they need to be. But here's the most important thing to understand about the enemies we face. Some of the most dangerous ones are on the inside. Let me give you a quick but powerful list, because these are the things I've had to fight in my own life. And these are the things I see standing between good people and great futures every single day. The first one is indifference. You've got to do battle with your own indifference. And I know how easy it is to coast, especially once you've accomplished something that feels significant, something extraordinary. There's a natural human tendency to sit back a little, to relax into what you've already built, to say you've earned a rest. And maybe you have. But here's the key: not too long. Because the weeds don't take a break just because you did. The garden doesn't pause its need for attention just because you're feeling tired or satisfied. The things you've planted will be taken by what's growing around them if you rest too long. Don't let indifference, even the comfortable, well-earned kind, become the thing that costs you everything you worked so hard to build. The second enemy on the inside is indecision. You've got to make decisions. The ones that don't turn out the way you hoped, and there will be some of those, there always are, those give you the experience you need to make better decisions the next time. Don't let yourself be paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong call. The decisions that you can make quickly, make them quickly. The ones that genuinely require more time and more information, take that time. But get those decisions made. Don't let indecision become a slow leak in your future, quietly draining your momentum and your opportunity. The indecision that lingers too long doesn't just delay your progress, it starts to empty things out. It empties your bank account. It empties your potential. It leaves you with less than you started with, not because you tried and failed, but because you never fully tried at all. Don't let that happen to you. The third enemy is doubt, and this one is powerful, and it's sneaky, and it works on you from angles you don't always see coming. Sure, there are doubts on the outside. There are people who doubt everything, who doubt whether the economy is going to recover, whether the country is going to make it, whether any particular opportunity is real or sustainable or worth pursuing. There are voices everywhere that specialize in doubt, that have made a kind of art form out of identifying why things won't work. I'm asking you not to pick up all those doubts. I'm asking you to have some faith, to have some courage, to believe in the future, in the possibilities, in the extraordinary potential that the people around you bring to everything you're building together. Drive your doubts into a small corner. Don't let them loose like something wild to drive you into a small corner instead. Don't doubt the future. The future has more in it than the doubters can see. Don't doubt the possibilities. The possibilities are larger than the people with the small imaginations are willing to admit. And here's the most important one of all, the most critical piece of this whole conversation about the enemies on the inside. Don't doubt yourself. Because this is where so much gets lost. This is where so many people, good people, capable people, people with real gifts and real potential, stop short. They doubt themselves right out of the future they were meant to have. I want to tell you something directly and personally right now. If I've got miracle-working power to change my life, so do you. And I mean that. I'm not saying it to make you feel good in the moment. I'm saying it because it's true, because I've seen it play out in life after life after life, because I know what it looks like when someone decides to stop doubting themselves and starts doing the work. If I've got the ability to change, so do you. If I can learn, so can you. If I can read and study and grow and discover, so can you. If I can develop something over years and decades of consistent effort until it becomes something worth offering to others, you can do that too. If I can accept an invitation 6 years ago to help take something extraordinary around the world, so can you. If a farm boy raised in the obscurity of rural Idaho can stand on a platform like this one, in a gathering like this one, and be received the way I've been received tonight, then so can you. Look at the people around you who've walked off with the diamonds and the recognition and the trophies. Look at the teams that have been built, the lives that have been changed, the things that have been accomplished through consistent effort and genuine belief. That's available to you. All of it is available to you. I'm not standing here telling you that the road is easy, or that the seasons are always favorable, or that the enemies on the inside and the outside won't show up to test you, because they will. I'm standing here telling you that none of that has to stop you. None of that gets to have the final word about your future unless you let it. So here's where I'm landing, and here's what I'm asking you to carry out of this room with you. Don't sell yourself short. Don't talk yourself out of the life that's available to you. Don't let the winters make you small. Don't let the springs pass by without your participation. Don't let the summer challenges steal what you planted with such care and such effort and such hope. Get better every single day. Take advantage of every opportunity that this season is putting in front of you. Nourish and protect everything you're building. Do battle with indifference, with indecision, with doubt. And above all, do not doubt yourself. Stand up and do it again, and then do it again, and keep doing it until the doing of it has changed you into something you couldn't have imagined when you started. That's the secret. That's always been the secret. And now it belongs to you too.